Okay, this is a little demonstration of how to make a loop into the end of a line. And this is actually 5/8 inch poly rope. And the way I first start is I open up the end of that rope, and then I take electrical tape and I tape around each one of these guys here. This is the very first beginning of how I do it. Okay, this might take a little bit of time here, but we got lots of time, especially if you want to do it right. And you have to be careful you don't want to strand your individual lines of this 3-line poly rope. Sometimes I wear gloves for this. And then I just basically singe the end so it doesn't unravel. And you try not to burn yourself, because this torch is hot. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to bring some line over, and I'm going to hang it up from my wall there. Now, basically what you want to do is you want to unravel this guy. And I do it about 6 to 7 inches, because we're going to cut off the end anyway at the end. Okay, so there you go. I have strands about like that, so that we're going to have basically a left, a middle, and then a right. Okay, so from this operation, now I'm going to make a loop about like this, something like that. Okay, so there I'm going to open up a strand, and I'm going to take this center piece and I'm going to shove it through that strand. This is a little bit tricky here, this part. And you want to make sure that this guy, that left side, stays over like that, okay? And then we're going to pull this through. Keep this strand up on top. Don't lose that, okay? If you don't start right in the beginning, you're not going to end right. And then at this point, what we do is we lightly roll the rope. And you see this strand under here? This one right there? We're going to take this strand right here, and we're going to go open this one on the line up, like that. And we're going to go through it, just like that. And then we're going to tighten it up a little bit. Okay, so those are those. This was the middle one, and this was the right one. And now, this one that we laid over the top over here, we're going to roll this rope just like this. And then I'm going to take this strand right here, holding onto it, okay? And it's going to go under this line right there, because we've got this one out and this one out, and we're going to go under this guy. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to go under. Now, when you get to this point and you see this right here, you know you've got it right, because that means all of your 3 strands are equidistant around that line. So now it's as simple as jumping over this strand. Okay, we're going to open up the next one down the line, and we're going to go through it. Just like that. And then we're going to come over to this side, and I tighten them up as I go. We're going to go over this guy and under this guy and out. See that? And I'm going to come and go over this guy, and then I'm going to open up this strand and go under and out. Take your time. It's not a big deal when you're learning how to do this. Okay, so we're still equidistant with our strands around the line. Start anywhere you want again. We're going to go over this guy, under this one, through it and out. Okay. I'm going to jump this guy. Through it and out. And then we've got, that's why this wider rope, you have to make sure that you don't screw up, because it's a little confusing when you get down to this point. So we're going to go over this guy, and then under this one, and through it and out. So I have to open that guy up. See, we're still equidistant around the line. Tighten it up. The best way it is, or it looks, it's absolutely works the best when you keep it tight. Okay? Here's our loop. Right there. Now we're going to go over this guy, under this guy, through it and out. See? Then we're going to go over this guy, under this guy, through it and out. Oh, I got a message. That's why if you don't pay attention on this part, you can screw up right about there with this thicker rope. Now we got to go over that. See, there's a hole right there. We're going over, under and out. And we are still equidistant all the way around that line. Okay? And there you go. There's your loop. Alright? I could do one more time, but I don't know if I will. Maybe I will. I'll go one more time. There we go. And we got to pull these guys. I may have gone a little too far with that. Now we've got to get this one. So that's why it's sometimes better to leave a little excess on the end. But that one's going to go just right in through there. And hopefully it'll go through. There we go. See? Now we're equidistant all the way around that line still. And you can work this deal here just like that. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these ends off and I'm going to burn them. I'm going to get my torch. Get my torch going here. And I just basically take my razor knife and I'm just going to cut that right there. See how I'm going to do this? Don't cut your fingers. Then I'm going to go right down here and I'm going to loop that over and I'm going to burn that baby just like that. Don't burn your fingers like I say. This is poly rope and if it drips on your fingers, ooh boy, ain't that gonna hurt. Okay, so that side's done. learn that. So like I say, if you start right in the beginning and you don't miss your jumps, you're going to be perfect. So this is how we do it with we have float planes. I'm a seaplane pilot, and these are control ropes for hand lines that go off the float. So there you go. That's it. How's that look? And like I say, when you start and you see these two lines coming together, you know you've done it just perfect. So that's how you put a loop into the end of a rope and then braid it down through that line again. Cool. Thanks for watching.